This is the complete wheel from the FRAMED Defendant PRO. It's a 22-inch model, and I've had a lot of questions about the hubs. The front hub is 100% an unsealed hub, but this one still, it seems like it's a sealed system. There's no real strong point of entry for the dirt to come in. But when you think of a sealed system, in terms of advertising, you think of cartridge bearings, replaceable cartridge bearings, not loose ball just floating around there with a shield in front of it. You know, technically that would be sealed, but by today's standards, that wouldn't be considered a sealed bearing. I'm going to find out if this is just like word trickery. It's possibly just a mistake. Maybe it was lost in translation, or maybe the company hasn't opened up the product themselves to determine this. So I'm going to do that right now for the people that have bought this bike or are wondering about this bike. We're just going to use a simple crescent wrench in unison with a vise. So let's get on that. I'm not going to tighten it so much it's going to crush it. I'm just going to tighten it to where it holds it securely. So I can actually still move this around. I don't want to crush anything or damage the threads on the axle. Okay. Okay, I will say so far it's not looking so good here. Wow. This is definitely not a sealed driver. Okay, so as I continue here, I'm noticing that this is an older design. We're going to open it up all the way. Okay, that's the lock nut. This is like the cone nut, as you'd call it. And this is holding the bearings in place. You can see that would be the bearing surface area they'd roll on. And some ball bearings just fell out, but you can tell right there that is a loose ball design. That's the rubber shield. This is clearly not a sealed system. And there's more bearings on the bottom, which are also loose ball. Very disappointing. Not only are these more of a hassle maintenance wise, and you can't just kind of like plug and play things. It's hard to fix things when you're out and about. You have to worry about these little ball bearings floating around everywhere. Not saying it's not doable, because you know this is how it used to be before cartridge bearings were introduced, but this is not what you want on a modern bike. And of course they're going to cut costs somewhere, and we just discovered one of the areas. So the frame is great. The frame has an integrated headset, and the bottom bracket is as it should be by today's standards. But this wheel, or both of the wheels, are not sealed, or what I would consider a sealed wheel. Now this is it's not false advertising, because they are sealed in the way that like shields and like rubber gaskets and things like that. So it's not false advertisement, but it is misleading, because when people use the term sealed, they're using it interchangeably with cartridge bearings. So I'm gonna find all the ball bearings I just dropped and put this back together. And just while it's off, it is a four pawl system. We can already deduce that this side is going to be exactly the same, not only because it looks, you know, from the outside to be the same, but the way that the bearing moves is it doesn't feel like a sealed bearing at all. So I don't think it's just like a hybrid design, like with one cartridge bearing on the side. This is going to be loose ball over here too, so I'm not going to even take this apart and waste my time. This is very disappointing, and I'm definitely going to absolutely trash this wheel set and replace them as soon as possible. So you might see a grinding video coming up soon. This all being said, as long as you don't have to open this up for any reason, and as long as you keep your nuts relatively tight to where there's no play in the system, these should last you. They're not going to just like blow up out of nowhere. I wouldn't trust them as much as a cartridge bearing system personally, but with proper maintenance and stuff, there'd be no reason this wouldn't work out just as well as a sealed bearing system, you know, an aftermarket wheel, as long as it's well maintained, well taken care of. So hope this answers your questions. I'm very disappointed about this, but it's also good to know. Have a good day. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you. I'm all greasy and shaky in the future video. Bye.